Are the Paul brothers a net positive for boxing? That's a great freaking question. Are the Pauls good for boxing? So off top, Logan Paul, no, because he just does these like stupid gimmicky fights. So I don't think that's good for boxing. And the reason I don't think that's good for boxing is because yes, it brings new people to the fight. It does. But do these new people go back into the do they come back, these people, and say, yeah, I'm going to come back. I'm going to fight. I'm going to watch the next Triple G Canelo fight. I'm going to watch the Wilder Fury fight. I don't think they do because the numbers in boxing through like hardcore boxing matches have not been any different in the years, since these guys have gotten involved. And I blame Mayweather McGregor for ruining it for a lot of people because what they did was they showed that anything can go down and you can make a pay-per-view fight out of anything. So I don't think that he's good for boxing, Logan Paul, because I think what happens is people say, "Oh, that's boxing. That's the gimmick fights we care about. We don't care about, the serious fights." Jake Paul is interesting because he's actually fighting like professional fights and it's a more serious situation. I don't think Jake Paul is good for boxing. I think that he does bring new fans to the sport, but I think he hurts the sport more than he helps the sport. And the reason why is because people now focus on these type of gimmick matches instead of the hardcore, Crawford and Spence, or let's talk about fights that happen: Triple G and Canelo, or Charlo Castano, or Canelo Bivol. And that is bad for boxing because when we go forward, it's going to be harder to sell these hardcore fights. And you go back to the 1980s. Imagine if instead of someone's favorite boxers being Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Mike Tyson, their favorite boxers were guys like, Michael Jackson, Prince, and Tom Cruise. That's what this is the equivalent of. You ask a kid, who's your favorite boxer now? They'll be like Jake Paul. They'll be like, Logan Paul. They'll be like KSI. And that's bad for the sport, in my opinion. And I'm not trying to sound like a hater, like you can't go get your money. But for boxing as a whole, that is not good. Like, it's not good. Like, it's not good that, you have a world champion, Devin Haney, and nobody in America knows who that is. It's not good that, you have Josh Taylor and nobody in America knows who that is. It's not good that you have a guy like, I don't know, pick Artur Beterbiev. He's a light heavyweight champion. People don't know who he is in America. They don't know who he is in Europe. He's not known. That's not a good thing for the future of hardcore boxing, because when this thing all dies out, because I don't think YouTube boxing and this style of boxing is a long-term thing. I don't think this is a thing where you could kind of have it long-term. I think once some of these guys get hurt or once this fad wears out, people are off it. But the hardcore boxing, I think, will remain. So I think that they are a negative for boxing, Furu Finance. Big shout out to that question, because that might have been the best question in the whole thing so far. I think they're not a net positive for boxing. I think it's a negative for boxing.